Congratulations! You have found WrestleShoot, hosted by the Wild Thing Rob Wilds and the ladies' man Chris Casanova. Combined, we have 40 years of wrestling experience, and we're here to share those experiences, stories, and knowledge with you over the podcast airwaves. We'll be joined by friends of ours from time to time to share their stories and experiences with you as well. So climb aboard the crazy train we call WrestleShoot. We know how to do it, and we do it real well.
You gotta love that song. I absolutely don't care who you are. Welcome to another episode of WrestleShoot. I'm your host, the Wild Thing, Rob Wilds, joined, of course, by the lovely, the talented, the fedora pulling off some bitch, my hetero life mate, Chris Casanova.
Wow, I love the fedora. Added the fedora one. That's awesome.
You like that? Throw a little bit. I try to change it up a little bit, keep it fresh.
Don't get
shit
stale.
like that. You know. You know how it goes, cocksucker. You gotta keep it new, or people make fun of you and shit. So we're gonna have a pretty good show today. We have a special guest, Davison. She's gonna come on. She's gonna tell us all about her experiences in the pro wrestling business. So that's cool. And we always like to try to eat up just a little bit of time first, waiting for our guest to show up. What's up, Chris? What are you doing? What are you doing there, sweetheart?
Man, just another day, another dollar, man. That's all I'm doing.
Only $1?
Yeah.
I feel like you're getting robbed, motherfucker. I feel like you're getting robbed.
I'm always getting robbed.
Everybody still, we say it all the time, send out those big heart, those positive vibes to our friend Creepy Jimmy, who is having that throat cancer problem that he's getting taken care of. He's not feeling very good today. That doesn't make me feel very good when Jimmy doesn't feel good. We loves you, Jimmy. We loves you. So,
well, brother,
get that rest and come back and see us. Come back and see us, cocksucker.
Yeah, I miss these little creepy entrances.
I know, right? Remember when he freaked out? Who was that? It was Carnage.
Yeah.
He came on the air in the shower.
And literally, he's like scrubbing himself as he's like had the camera and all that. Carnage's look on his face, man, it was just priceless. He's like, he didn't know he didn't know how to take that.
Well, you said that guy genuinely creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah. He's like, I hope I ever meet him in real life.
Oh, Carnage, of course you will. You're part of the family. You're definitely going to meet him in real life. So anything you want to get into here, Chris?
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about an old bit that you and Porter used to do back in the day, like the original WrestleShoot.
Oh, back when we was on terrestrial radio.
Yes, terrestrial. Good saying. I like that. Terrestrial radio. The segment is Where Are They Now?
Oh, shit. That's old school. Where are they now?
What?
Chris, did you do that? That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All right, nice. So, why you say? Wait a minute. Are you just gonna kamikaze me here, or just be like, we're gonna do that bit right now?
Yeah, let's just do it right now.
Son of a bitch!
No,
all right, you know what? I'm up to the challenge. Bring it. I mean, I'm guessing that you're gonna give me a name, or we're gonna just hit it on them.
Tell you what, here. Let's think of a random name here. Let's go with Virgil.
Virgil. Oh, your favorite guy. That poor bastard. Fucking Virgil. Okay, where are they now? Virgil is battling cancer. He's not getting booked anywhere. And the cancer battle is not going well. Virgil is slowly slipping away. I mean, hate to start off Where Are They Now on a bummer to get that restarted. And I like it, dude. Yeah, let's make this a reoccurring thing. Let's bring Where Are They Now back.
I agree.
So, yeah, Virgil, I mean, I think his last real actual paid booking was it AEW?
Yeah, I think it was like 2019 or something.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what he did, but that's the last time he was there. And then they say he's not really retired. He's just kind of like battling like the colon cancer, and he had a couple strokes too. from what I heard. So
That's true. He did. He had 2 of them.
yeah.
And that's a pretty common side effect to chemo and radiation or strokes, blood clots.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, Chris. Why do you got to start it off on such a negative fucking note? Whatever if the rest of this show sucks, it is squarely your fault, Mr. Fedora.
All right. I'll take it on that. I'll take the blame.
So besides that, yeah, I mean, I know that you don't like Virgil. I'm not a big fan of the man on a personal level, but he's still a human being and he's still battling something pretty fucking grisly. So all the best to you, Verge, man. Get better. And you still owe me $20, cocksucker. Don't think I'm gonna forget.
Wait, what? What's this?
I bummed him $20 so we could get lunch because nobody was buying his 8x10s. And of course, I knew when I gave it to him, I was never going to see it again. But it's a good rib.
Oh, where was this at? I'd never heard this story.
No, this was in,
I
want to say it was in Idaho.
Idaho. Oh my gosh.
I used to wrestle. Oh, yeah, man. Over there in Lewiston, wrestling is fucking huge. It's Mike Welsh territory, man. He would sell out their rodeo grounds back to back 2 nights in a row every time he did a show out there.
Never made Idaho for wrestling, but that must be.
You're not missing anything. The only reason you go out there is for a payday. Let me tell you something about Lewiston, Idaho. There is not one single part of that fucking town that does not smell like you're standing in the outhouse area at a concert. The whole area smells like shit because the Snake River runs like right along it, and it's so polluted from all the factories. Man, yeah, no.
I just think Idaho is like a potato state. Is that? I mean, that's all I think of Idaho is
potato really. And wrestling, dude. That's what they do. They love their goddamn wrestling out there, and God bless them for it. Me and Hustler, Warpath, Bill Monroe, we used to roll out together a couple times a year for Mike, and it always went really well. Just you never went out there thinking like, "Ooh, this is going to be a great party town. We're going to have some fun. We're all going to have sex, whatever." No, it's nothing like that. It's garbage.
There's some lonely women out there, though, right?
I wouldn't know. I wasn't interested in meeting anybody. I was just I'm there.
No stories at all.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing the show. I'm doing the. Here's a quick story for you because I think I just got a message. Our guest will be here any minute. Me and Hustler are hanging out in the cheap shit little motel because in Lewiston, they're really, at least what we didn't see any nice hotels. They were all just kind of motels.
Like one of those creepy abandoned hotels, like by itself with like nothing around it, or just like a gas station. Oh, okay.
No. There's things. It's just not much things. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So me and Louie or Hustler, are hanging out in there, and we're burning one. Just kind of unwinding because we know we're going to have a rough match. We were wrestling each other the next night. So we knew we were going to go out there and just beat the shit out of each other. So let's try to get some relaxation and sleep tonight.
Take your medicine.
Then there's a knock at the door. So I open it. Just, I'm not even worried about police or whatnot. Just who is it?
Yeah.
And these two 10-year-old girls just barged right past me into the room. Lou was in the bathroom blowing it up. And I was like, whoa. You guys need to fucking go. And Lou comes out of the bathroom. What's the matter? And he goes, what are they doing in here? I said, they just pushed their way through. So he's like, a couple 10-year-old girls muscled past. He was like, fuck that. I wasn't going to touch them.
Yeah, you're like, no. Yeah.
So as we're telling them, okay, you know what? Because they just wanted an autograph.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So we signed their thing. We're going to send them out the door. And there's another knock on the door. And there is a fucking sheriff. And I said, oh, dude, come on. He goes, no. I saw what happened. You two, get the fuck out of here. They're like, okay. And they just, like, they were probably the couple of the troublemakers in town. And he knew who they were. So he's like, no, you guys are fine. I saw everything. You two, get the hell out of here.
Probably one of those fucking towns where everybody knows everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole town comes out for wrestling. Like, seriously, restaurants were closing. They were putting up signs in the windows, went to the matches.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was awesome. It was cool.
Okay.
And there was really nothing to do out there except for make money. So that's what we did. We had a good time, and we didn't have a good time. We just went to work. I'm trying to make myself not sound like such a goddamn heel by bagging on Lewiston.
That's a good story.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, it's a true story. Well then.
Oh,
I guess that means it's time. Incoming guest.
our guest. All right.
Well, shit, without any further ado, and because I'm so bad at pronouncing last names, we're going to let Miss Davison tell us herself. What's up, girlfriend?
Thanks for finally letting me in, sitting out here wasting my time waiting to get on your show. Woo! Thanks.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll get you a spoon so you can eat my ass. How'd that be?
Just for all you 7 viewers out there, we haven't discussed any kind of ass eating tonight, but I think now that we're here, I'm gonna need a couple of utensils.
Oh,
some condiments. Come on.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what do you
up a little bit?
What do you like? Ketchup, or do you like mayonnaise more? Like, what's your condiment for ass eating?
Those are the options.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get.
Got some mustard.
Pop rocks.
Pop rocks. Ooh, it would tickle.
Saying, don't knock it till you try it. I didn't come here to talk about pop rocks in your ass, wild thing. I came here to talk about my amazing wrestling career.
Oh, well, all right, Miss Amazing Wrestling Career. Why don't you tell us a good story like Lewiston, Idaho?
Oh God, let's think here. So I just debuted last October. I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
I went and debuted at this weird place in central Indiana, Muncie, Indiana. The people sound like they're from the foothills of West Virginia. Not my people, typically speaking. So I get down here 3 hours from home. And what I do is, like, when I go to a lot of feds, just to establish my character quickly, I pick fights with people on the roster that nobody even usually interacts with. Referee, got a feud with the ring announcer at this particular fed. Started a feud with the president at this other fed. But so I wasn't able to make 2 of my bookings because I had busted ribs one time and then my car broke down another time. But to honor my bookings, I recorded these promos and sent them down there. They were able to play them on a big screen during the show, like the old house shows for WWE. And I'm just calling out the ring announcer from home. But it makes people think wow, this is a whole new level of production for a little small Indiana show. But it's me terrorizing their ring announcer for no apparent reason. Running him down intellectually, sexually, financially.
Yeah, but did you ever hit a ring announcer in his head with a chair so hard that the blood poured out of that poor bastard like a fountain?
Not yet.
No. We're talking, of course, I mean, you wouldn't know, but we're talking about the creator of this epic thing that's gone on for 30 years called WrestleShoot, our friend Michael Porter. And Michael, we miss you all the time, and we just had to put you over because we were doing a little charity event to get his blind grandson an operation to fix his sight. In that night, I was the hardcore champ. I thought it would be kind of cool if I had Tonga Kid and Jimmy Snuka lay a beating on me, throw Porter's body on top of me. 1, 2, 3. The first announcer to ever win a championship ever. And it went over like balls fucking Marie, except the level of blood. We had to throw away the canvas, right? We couldn't get it clean.
Oh, it's too bloody, yeah.
It was destroyed.
Yeah.
Good time.
Cranberry sauce.
So let me, Miss Davison, ask you a question that I ask a lot of guests that we bring on here. And I ask this so often because I like to get all the opinions on the matter that I can, because for me, it's a big deal. And the question is, why do you think that Paul Roma's a fucking bitch and won't man up and face me? Paul Roma, I'm talking to you, and we're going to get another opinion about why you are a chicken shit, yellow-bellied piece of shit. Go!
I can't believe you attached me to this bullshit, man. I was a fan of the Young Stallions as a young woman.
So was I.
I was a big fan. He was the talent of the two. Jim Powers, get the fuck out of here. Give me Paul Roma 7 days out of the week. Now, he might have been the worst ever horseman if it weren't for Mongo McMichaels.
Mongo was a better horseman. Paul Roma,
fuck
you are a forgotten horseman. Only 13
Mongo was pretty
people,
bad, though.
Only 13 people in the world remember that you were a horseman, and 3 of them are sitting here, you piece of garbage, yellow-bellied motherfucking.
I dare you to say that to his 8-pack. I dare you.
You think he's still got an 8-pack?
Fuck yes, he does. Look at him.
No, he doesn't.
I'd be happy to check for you.
Man, when you check with Paul Roma, you tell him Rob Wilds is still coming after you.
Chris, I'm sorry if this is making you uncomfortable. Like, we're talking shit, and I don't know if you're going along for the ride. I might only be here once. I want to make an impression.
No, I honestly think you're right. I think he's got the 8-pack. I think he's got the 8-pack still.
Man,
Washing
dude,
my
I will
laundry on those things.
Oh.
I will punch that old man so hard that Hercules will come back to life for 30 seconds to say, ow.
I would pay to see it. I'll even go to the hospital and hold your hand while you're in a coma.
The day that Paul Roma can put my ass into a coma is the day I will cut my left arm off. Fuck you, Roma. Piece of garbage.
Wow.
We gotta arrange that, man. I'm telling you, we gotta arrange
I've
that.
been trying to arrange it. How long have I been screaming at Paul to come on this
I don't know, a
program
year
to
and a
face
half.
me? Yeah, come on here and face me, you old coward. I know you've heard the shit talk. I know you have.
Have you gone down to the Jersey Shore and tried to scramble him up? Like, where's he spending his time these days?
Man, I'll bet you he's fucking hiding underneath a boardwalk on the Jersey Shore, that Guido piece of garbage.
I think he's somewhere in the East Coast somewhere. He's like
yeah, Jersey Shore, East Coast.
Is he Jersey Shore? Okay.
Well, that's where his Paradise Alley wrestling school was. And let me tell you something. If you guys want really good training on becoming a professional wrestler, then Paul Roma, son of a bitch. Okay, then Paul Roma would do a great job training you. Paul Roma's a phenomenal wrestler, but you're still a piece of chicken shit, Paul. Hear me when I'm talking to you. They don't call me and Casanova the original legend killers long before Randy Orton for nothing. There's been a wake of dead old heads like you in our past, and you're next, you piece of fucking garbage.
I think they left money on the table by not having Paul Roma in a feud with Big Papa Pump before he became Big Papa Pump. People who are infinitely too athletic for the size of their fucking muscles, just doing backflips and the Frankensteiners. Roma had a hell of a drop kick.
All right, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Let's take a look at Roma again. You don't think that head is disproportionate to his body? Look at you, you piece of shit.
What are you talking about? Is it too big or too small?
Too small.
Show me again.
All right.
That's perfect. Well, it's the traps. Look at his neck. His neck's the size of your waist.
You know, I all of a sudden don't like you.
I think she's honest, man.
I'll give you my address. I'll send you home in a body bag, bitch.
Body bag? What are you, the fucking Undertaker now? The Underfaker? Get the fuck out of here.
So
no, I don't pretend to be a zombie. Can we just talk about that for a second? I don't even know what your position is on this. I did one of these earlier today, and we were laughing about the fact that a lot of people talk about exposing the business, and there are a lot of like classicist, fans who like are into the classics, exposing the business. Cornette talks about people exposing the business. The Undertaker is a zombie.
Oh, absolutely.
He always has been.
Absolutely.
And every one of these purists who talk shit about Orange Cassidy and the pizza guy and the whatever. Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, you mean like striking lightning to an announcer? Oh, that's not weird at all. Shut the fuck up. That's my point.
My favorite Undertaker, most unrealistic Bizarro moment was when he rised out of the Titantron after Yokozuna and floated off to the heaven. I will not rest. Wait, God damn it. Hang on. I will not rest in peace. Shut the fuck up. No, but I'm a huge Undertaker fan. I really am. I think he's great.
He misses the old days.
But then again, I also thought Damien Demento was a cool gimmick. So, who the fuck do I know?
It's subjective.
What I do know is what is right in front of me, though. And the fact of the matter is, there's a couple facts I'd like to point out real quick that don't mean anything about anything. One of those points is Cody Rhodes actually has a vagina. It's true. He does not have a dick. He's got a pussy, as is evident here. I mean, look at that camel toe. That's horrible. Why does his wife have a bigger bulge than he does? I do not know, but it's happening. And then, of course,
it's called a moose knuckle, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you could fist Cody in the ring and be like, "Oops, sorry," and he's like, "No, it's okay. I could take it."
Yeah. If you could see Brandy's, it would be a whatever you said, but yeah, Cody's got a moose knuckle. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, she's got a cock hanging in there, so she's all set. He's all set. Everybody's happy. And then let's take a look at a very recent photo we've shown on here a few times of how Lex Luger is looking now. Not bad. Lexi's coming along, right?
It's karma. It's karma for Liz.
Oh, that's right. And Ric Flair, he's always got something to say about it. Woo! God, we're stupid today.
No more matches, Rick.
Did you see his last match?
I did not. I won't watch it. I refuse.
I
do not want my last Ric Flair match memory to be what I've heard was a huge, overpriced piece of garbage.
I literally thought he was going to die. He looked dead. He was laying on the edge of the ring for like 5 minutes at a time. Like, he didn't move.
He went out
Nobody
there.
even checked on him.
He was probably tired.
He went out there. He took a bump and just sat the next 5 minutes out. Woo! That's a bump, baby. I'm going to lay down for a minute.
Yeah, he just tagged out and over he went. Apparently twice. He told Andrade he was out twice. It was not a good look.
And so he just really couldn't have been training that hard, right?
I mean, how hard are you going to train? It was a fool's errand. He's, what is he, 73, 74?
Oh, is that it? God, I thought he was in his 90s. Oh, did you hear that, Rick? I got some shit to say to you, too.
He's got a bump ticker. He had surgery. I think he's got a pacemaker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Rob, I think training. You can take Rick.
You think what?
You can take Rick, I think.
I could take Ric Flair. I could take Ric Flair, but not Paul Roma. Chris, shut up. You're upsetting me. He said, all right. What? Come on.
I mean, Wild Thing, you're not going to like this again, but Chris, I think I like your logic on that one. Flair used to be able to use technique when he could actually use his body for something effective. Roma could just use brawn to just knock you down. He doesn't need to know what he's doing. He could just.
Oh my God, dude! We gotta find a current picture of fucking Paul Roma, man. Because I don't think he's looking quite all as good as you think he's fucking looking.
She's better looking than Flair. I promise you that.
I'll give you that one, boy. I mean, I used to make fun of him, calling him Rickety Flair, but it's never been more apparent now that he is, in fact, Rickety Flair.
Man, Rickety Cricket. He's just, and that was not a good look at all.
But tell us about your career. Tell us about where you come from. Yeah, where'd you train?
Sure. So I live in West Michigan, Kalamazoo. It's like an hour from Indiana, 2 hours from Detroit. There's a guy who lives in town who really was like one of the hubs of Michigan wrestling for the last 2 decades. His name's Josh Raymond. He used to wrestle as Josh Abercrombie for a long time. And he did some pretty big stuff. Like he was in Ring of Honor for a long time with the House of Truth gimmick. Was like in a faction with Roderick Strong back in the day. He was on that MTV show, Wrestling Society X. Do you remember that way back in the day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That weird show. Yeah. So he had some connections and stuff. But I just was doing a podcast with a friend of mine here in town who's a radio guy. And Josh heard about our show, came on to do some advertising. I became a color commentator for about a year for his company. And then during the shutdown, I just started training and kind of fell in love with it and got pretty decent. After about 15 months of training, I debuted last October. So I'm coming up on my 1 year.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos of this one, Chris. Holy shit, dude. Talk about a hard-hitting worker, man. This one throws in the heat, dude. It's cool.
Well, what do they say? It's not ballet, right?
That's right.
Well, the thing is, everybody talks smack about women's wrestling and women in wrestling and, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you firsthand, it is really hard to get taken seriously. And it feels like you do have to go way above and beyond in terms of promos, in terms of your intensity level sometimes. And I'm older. Okay, so I'm big secret. I'm 46 years old.
Oh, is that
So
all?
like, yeah, but I don't want to take that many bumps. That's the whole thing. Like I'm trying to like limit that. So I tried to focus on like ground and pound, like technical British style stuff, submissions. But then that led to like, oh, like a Shayna Baszler style or a Mira Shafir style. Those are like getting more popular. But on the indies, I don't see it that much. And so with my coach, he's also a high school wrestling coach, has been for like 15 years. And then one of his trainees who kind of helped train me was a 10-year MMA fighter who's also a BJJ coach right now. So like I try to be like as shoot as possible. And it's been working out, been turning some heads.
Remember seeing I think it was a power bomb you were throwing on some woman who either didn't know how to take it or just didn't want to fucking take it. You know what I'm talking about? We talked about it on that video.
Oh, yeah, it was
like,
a pile
what the hell
driver.
is she doing? Pile driver,
driver.
that's right.
Yeah.
She had her
Well,
legs spread and bent and like pushing back into you kind of, then pushing forward. Didn't know where she wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, so we did one earlier in the match too, and that was after the match, right? But so the lead up was she came in with a kick. I threw her foot down, put her head in, boom, supposed to spike and then submit her, right? Well, so when she went up for the pile drive, the first one, you're right, like her legs were hanging out at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So I was like, and had to sit down weird. So then after the match, the gimmick was I was going to get up and be like, hey, everybody, let's cheer for her. And then when she got up and she bought into it, that's when I threw her down for the second one. But I already knew she didn't know how to do it. So I just went up and came down with it.
Yeah.
About as well as I could.
We lost Casanova. See what happened? You scared Casanova away.
Hey man, he's getting too close to the fire. You're going to get burned sometimes. You know what I mean?
I guess he's just being a big old chicken shit and running away. Oh, wait a minute. God damn it.
There we go.
I got some delay going on.
We were just going to get off on a big shit talking on you thing, and then you had to come back and ruin it. All right, I stand corrected. I looked up some recent pictures of Romo, and he's still in shape. And I call him Romo because he's a fucking homo. Fuck you, Paul. He ain't got no 8-pack going on. That's for damn sure. But he certainly is not out of shape.
Can I see it?
I tried to download it, but you know how fucking Google is. Oh, sorry, this is copyrighted. You can't do it. You know what I can do? I bet you. I'll bet you I can do this. Here, you want to see it? Let's try it like this. Here we go. Give me a second. There he is. Second to the left.
Yeah, no, I could tell. He looks better than Ken Shamrock. I'll give him that.
Oh, Ken. Oh, Kenny. What a dangerous individual he is. I love Ken. I do. He's been my dude. But Ken is 6 shades of fucking crazy, man. Back in Sacramento, Kenny shows up at this pool hall that I was bouncing at with a couple of the boys, and he showed up rip-roaring drunk, absolutely no reason he should have ever been driving to this little pool hall called the Hard Time Billiards, and he was looking for one particular guy. He came storming in there, 6 shades of fucked up, and he goes, "Where is he?" And I said, "Kenny's not here, man." "No, he's always here. I know he's here." And I was like, "Yeah, well, he's not this time." And he says, "If you don't tell me where he is, I'm going to fucking break you right now." And now I look around the bar, and here comes rolling over all the other wrestlers. People from the bar are standing up, grabbing pool cues. This bar is ready to go over there and tune Kenny up, man. So I says, Kenny, when this goes down, I know that I'm taking the worst of it. I know you're going to go right through me. But look behind me and look what's going to be waiting for you. And then think, is this worth going to jail over? Please don't kill me. And then he didn't. He showed me mercy and left. Oh, Kenny. God damn it, Chris. Where the fuck did you go? That's all right. We don't need Chris to have fun.
Hey.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about some of your experiences breaking in, because that's what I always like to hear when the new guys come around or the new gals come around. I like to hear about them getting broke and hear about, what that experience was for them. Because to be honest, back when I broke, 103 years ago or whatever, it was hard, man. Like that was ass whoopings all around for the first year of your career. But it's a little bit softer now. So tell me your experiences.
Yeah. Well, it turns out I got kind of lucky. I mean, I definitely trained for a long time. Like I said, there's a school in the state that turns out a lot of really great wrestlers run by Truth Martini. And he's a good friend of my trainer. They just have different training styles. So like at House of Truth, they'll put people through like 3 months, pretty like fast and like pretty intensive, like 4 nights a week. And at the end of those 3 months, they're pretty much ready to go, like show level. And their people do get work like right away.
Nice.
Josh just has more of like an old school. He didn't let me debut until 15 months, like I said.
Right.
And so I'm glad now that it went that way. But so the company I debuted in was his as well. It's called Independence Pro Wrestling. And at the time, they were ready to debut a women's title. And there's really not that many women workers around. Right. Getting a little more popular now. But Michigan has a cliche. It might as well be on a T-shirt. The promoters all say it. There aren't enough good women workers. And now there's a bunch of us, and they still say that shit. So, I mean, whatever. But so I was lucky to be in IPW because that was Josh's company. I was training with him. I was able to bring people in and have him produce matches, like with kind of a built-in crowd. I was already doing commentary, so like I had a pretty good built-in crowd to work in front of, which was really nice. Yeah. That also let me meet a lot of other workers from around the Midwest who were coming through the state and working at IPW when I was doing commentary. So because of Josh's connections, meeting these workers, I was able to pretty quickly branch out when I decided to. I think I've worked at like 9 different companies in the last year, something all like that. Yeah, kind of got going pretty quickly.
Now, see, when I got broke in, they were booking me with hookers. So it's like, you're going to get in there and get stretched tonight, kid. See what you got. You know, those are the kind of guys with for those of you watching who don't know what I mean by hookers, those are the kind of wrestlers who are beyond the shooter category. Their whole mindset is, if I want you hooked, you're fucking hooked. And that's that. So, yeah, I spent the first 6 months of my career just regularly getting stretched, but that turned me into a better shooter. So it was all worth it. And then my first name was old Mr. Boogie Woogie. Every time I think about this, it makes me laugh. Jimmy Valiant is a cool guy. But they're going to give me a chance with my first name. And we get in that ring, and immediately everything we talked about went out of my head. And I'm paying more attention to the crowd and I am screwing the pooch left and right. So after about 5 minutes of that, he whips me into the corner, follows up with an elbow so hard that my eyeballs spun around a few times, like in the cartoons. And he leaned in and said, if you blow one more spot, I'm going to break your fucking ankle. Now stop paying attention to them. It's just you and me, and let's get to work. Well, with the imminent threat of a broken ankle, we got back to it, and we had ourselves a fantastic rest of the night. Because I was trained by Paul DeMarco, so he was in the back, and I'm like, dude, this guy's going to kill me. DeMarco's going to be mad, and he's going to kill me. And Jesus Christ, I'm not going to catch a break here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad it's not like that anymore, but I heard what you're saying about things being softer, and that I'm sure that's 100% true. I think you'll like this story though. So like I was saying, I got trained by a high school wrestling coach, MMA guy. They told me, I always asked, like, what happens if I go to these other companies and somebody tries to shoot on me or go into business? They're like, you can communicate as much as you want, but honestly, you can settle it like right anytime you want to. Right. So the first time I went and trained anywhere besides my home place was up with these guys from a group called the DTA, Death Red Army, big thing in the Midwest here. Okay. And I just went for one day, but there was word on the street that they trained like younger people at the training camp. Like, I know it's kind of controversial, like training kids. Right. But so when I went up there actually was a kid working out, and I'm guessing he was like 14, 15, 16 years old. But he and his dad were bragging to the coach when I walked in about his like judo tournament over the weekend, right? Like bragging. So we start to do this open grapple drill at the beginning of practice where everybody just goes like 90 seconds with each other, just like chain and see what's up. This kid decides he's going to try shooting on me for whatever idiot reason.
Just randomly, he's like, I'm going to beat a girl. That'll show everybody how cool I am.
Apparently. So he went to his back and he was like, come on. And I'm like, dude, I came here to like pro wrestle. Get up. And And he's like, like, are you scared? I'm like, whatever. So I got down there with him, right? And I'm like, he's still not even working this. He was literally trying to like go. And that was when I realized it. And I was like, okay. My coach said it, settle it. I embarrassed this kid in front of his coaches, in front of his dad, tapped him out like 3 or 4 times. I heard after the fact that he
3 or 4 times. So you tapped him out once and he came back for more?
No, I tapped him out and then I didn't let him go because we weren't
didn't let him go. So you didn't tap out 3 or 4 times. You tapped out for 5 minutes.
That's like 90 seconds. I mean,
like,
yeah.
Please let go. That's fantastic.
You know what I mean? But I felt very good about the fact that I was able to do this. Like, A, don't do that shit. B, you never know who you're doing it to. And you know what I mean? Like,
no, you definitely taught him a lesson. And then the ego bust of right there in front of his coach, you got tapped out by a girl. I mean, I'm not trying to sound sexist. I'm just saying that, like,
no, I know how that sounds. And you're right. That's why I enjoyed it. I know how that
You're
looks.
in school and you just got punked in front of your coach in your own fucking house. Now,
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, dude. You can beat the ever-loving hell out of me, but if you're in my house, I ain't tapping. You're going to have to break something.
Well, who's to say I wouldn't?
Yeah. By the way, what up, Mess Around? Nice to see you here, buddy. Doug Damien, just a dad, my dude. So let me ask you this. Who's that in the background? That's your publicist keeping an eye on you?
Oh, that's my friend Sarah. We haven't seen each other in a while, so we're hanging out.
All right.
I told her I'd be doing this for a
Hi,
little
Sarah.
while.
You can tell her I said hi. Oh, shit. You all right?
Sarah's also a high school wrestling coach, it turns out.
Oh, is that right? What do you mean,
Yeah.
as it turns out? You just find out?
No, as it turns out for you, because it's rare for women to be high
Look
school
at
wrestling
her.
coaches, it turns out.
She's back there
yeah, no.
throwing up the guns and shit.
No, she would beat the shit out of you. No question about it.
Yeah, well, who said that'd be a bad thing?
Oh, I mean, it'd be fun to watch.
I've been in the business for way too long to now all of a sudden wrestling in any aspect is good. Oh, you want to tap me out? All right, let's go tap out. I'm not the kind of guy who's embarrassed to have a girl tap me out. Go ahead.
Well, you know, it's going to be funny. Actually, I guess I'm being typecast. So my character initially was me being the wrestling mental health therapist because I have a master's degree and I've been an actual therapist for over a decade. So that was my whole thing, was like Davison Saria, MA, LPC, CAADC, MST, PSB. Sarcastic and sophisticated and pretentious and blah, 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 right?
That's a mouthful.
But as soon as I started leaving my home fed, I started getting more typecast as like the badass chick because of the tattoos. But of course, my wrestling style is more kind of badass. So all of a sudden, these 2 different feds, one near Chicago and one in Detroit, who don't know each other, both pitched the idea for me to be in factions. And maybe this Rhea Ripley thing did it. I don't know. But a thing over in Detroit with this big serial killer guy who I'm really good friends with, Jamie Eternal. And then over near Chicago, we just launched a thing for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling called Brutality, where I came out with these 2 like 300-pound, bald-headed, look like Aryan Brotherhood murderers.
Murderers. Right, Ron?
Yeah, no, pretty cool. So I'm doing that, and I occasionally still do my sophisticated, pretentious thing when I want to. And when I do that thing down in Indiana, I'm more of like an old school comedy wrestler type. So like keep it pretty interesting, like doing a lot of different stuff in different places.
You got to throw that comedy in, man, because everybody out there is trying to one-up each other. I'm going to have a better match. They don't pay attention anymore to their spot on the card. They're just trying to blow the whole shit up. But when you go out there after a sea of all these dudes trying to outdo each other and scoop everybody's heat, and you throw some ha-ha into it, you're the one who gets booked first over those other guys. At least that's how it used to be.
My experience, that's exactly how it is now too. So in high school, I did a thing called forensics, which is almost like competitive drama. So it was like these like acting competitions. And I did that for 3 years, sophomore, junior, senior. In all 3 years, I went to the States. Like our coach was kind of well known for that. And so I had a lot of acting experience. Then I got into bands for a super long time. And so when I started wrestling, like stage fright.
Yeah, no stage fright.
No stage fright. And so that confused people too. Like in some ways I look really green, like with my moves are still coming together, but in others, none of that fear is there. So you look extra confident in the ring. I don't know. I feel like I've gotten like certain like head starts because of some of the experience I've had. You know?
Now, see, in my case, I did drama throughout high school. I acted in the plays. I played bass and I sing in bands. Like I did all that stuff too. But when my first match came up and I was curtain jerking and there was a hot crowd out there who wanted to see something good and they're playing this music that they picked for me, they were just calling me probably like Rob the Little Cunts or something, like just a nobody. I couldn't get myself to go through the curtain. One of the vets were there and he's like, "Go, kid, go." And I was like, "Could you just give me a push through the curtain?" And he smacked me in the back of the head. Boom. Okay, I'm going to go. Get the hell out there. You're holding up the show.
Yeah. You dig this then. So when I actually did debut, one of the women who had won these qualifying matches to compete for the title wasn't able to make it to the show when they had agreed upon having this title match finally, right? And I'd been getting ready to debut anyway, so stars aligned, and I suggested creative to the booker, and he went for it. So I got in the ring with the belt at the show, and was like, "Hey, I'm here to debut the title for the new IPW Women's Champion tonight." Brought out our first competitor, Randy West, who's pretty well known, like deathmatch wrestler. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's like nationally. Randy West, the Gore, the Queen of Gore.
Almost rang a bell, but then I lost it. But that happens a lot, so I'm
That's
used
okay.
to it.
But so she comes to the ring. I'm holding the title. We're waiting for her competitor to come out. Music's playing. Nobody's coming out. All of a sudden, she turns to look at me with confusion. Smash her in the face with the belt. Oh, by the way, I'm the competitor.
Right.
Here's the debut. Kind of fun to pop in that way instead of just having like if I had done what you did and just had to walk through the curtain and do the thing, I think it would have been scarier than having something built in like that.
That's true. When you have a flash and you can go out there and be like, they don't know me, and they're gonna be fascinated by the sudden swerve of the storyline, even if I drop the ball. Because I assume you went out there and jobbed.
No, I won.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Sure did. Cheated my ass off.
As long as you made her look good.
Oh, of course.
Of
course.
It's all right, I guess. Fuck.
Well, like I said, it wasn't WWE for God's sake. It was my home fed. Like, I'm the only woman on the roster. At the time, there might have been 4 or 5 women working in the state.
Right.
So it wasn't exactly, you know what I mean? Like, Randy's a bigger name. She's not going to be around all that often. So it just kind of made sense. Now, when I lost it.
If I really think about it, back when we were breaking in, even for years and years after we were broke, I think the only real women's wrestlers we had in California was Sarah Del Rey and cheerleader Melissa. And I mean, thankfully they were both really good, but they were it. Like people had to come in from Nevada and Colorado. They had to import. And then when they were importing, you pay all this money to bring these women out who are capitalizing on just the tits and ass aspect of wrestling and can't actually work a lick. So then they stink. So that you're out money on that deal. That's not even a match you could try to resell.
Well, and that's the bummer, right? Like that's the conversation always is we want to try to put more women on shows, but then we don't sell tickets. And I guess the best thing I can say is what you just said. It seems like the same guys who will complain that I hate women's wrestling are typically the same ones who say, I only want to look at a women's wrestler who I want to have sex with. And it turns out the corollary is a lot of times that doesn't completely overlap. You got your fitness not with types. And who knows if they've been wrestling fans? And a lot of us who've been wrestling fans don't necessarily look like we're going to be a fitness model anytime soon. But guess what? We can work and we can have the kind of matches that guys say they like. But then it makes you wonder, now what's the hang up? If we do the same moves with the same intensity and there could be blood, there could be the exact same stuff. Now what's the excuse? And then we got to start talking about sexism. But then those same guys say, fuck feminists. And here we are.
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest, the largest name women's wrestler that, boy, I had a thing for was Ivory. And I think that I had such a thing for Ivory for as long. I mean, I followed her back to Tina Ferrari, and she was just so good. Like watching her in that ring was poetry, man. I love. Then Trish Stratus would come out that every guy in the planet seemed to have a hard on for, except me, because I was like, she's just not very good.
Yeah. I think she got good eventually. I'm not gonna say
Towards
great.
the
She
end.
got, but it took a long time to get
Yeah.
there. Yeah, for sure. Molly Holly's another one who's really great. back then,
Yes.
technically. What's her name right now?
Cherry.
Serena Deebs. Serena Deebs reminds me of Ivory. Those two remind
Yeah.
me of each other. Yeah, and that's kind of the style I do. Like I said, like you get to do more character work. If you're a heel who can technically wrestle, and you're willing to do character work, there's no short. You could work every night of the week, 30-minute match, old school Memphis. You know what I mean? Work a limb, cheat, pull the ropes, pull the underwear.
That's right.
Cheat. Like
I remember I was me and Chris were hanging out with Honky Tonk and Greg Valentine, and we were getting ready to do something with them that night. So we went back to the comedy angle real quick, but there was a follow. But we went out and got some robes from Walmart, and then we got little cheapo, jewelry. We super glued them onto the rope, and then I had a walker, and Chris had a cane, and we got the Honky Tonk and the Greg Valentine wigs. So we went out there all playing it up old school and shit. We had a lot of fun that night. But before all that, just some new kid, some nobody was listening to us talking about what we want to do that night. And he's like, oh, why don't you go out there and grab a fucking 10-minute armbar because that still gets over. I said, you little motherfucker, watch it get over. Watch it get over. Honky, I'm working your arm, and that's it all night. Fuck this kid. And Honky's cracking up. Let me tell you something, you little motherfucker. You probably shouldn't have opened your mouth now because we're all a bunch of vets back here, and you're so green I can see you out there in the grass. So, let's go out there and work a lot of arm bars and leg locks. Right, Greg? And Greg's like, that's right. And this, oh, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that, you cunt. Oh, just saying that made my nipple hurt.
He was an edge chopper, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he would come down top too when you're in
the
he
corner. Came this way. Okay.
Yeah. No, but yeah, he was a flare style chopper. But when he would come down with that big old, I always called him banana hands because his hands looked like a bundle of bananas, just huge, thick fingers. He comes down high, bam! Just the memory makes my nipple hurt.
Yeah, it's like somebody putting a dead chicken in a bag and just hitting you with it like this.
Just beating you with it. Taking a sock full of oranges and just going to work on you.
Hey.
Oh, another one bites the dust.
Whatever.
Hey, tell your wrestling coach, let's not get angry and start breaking the electronics. We're cool. We're all friends here.
She can't hear. I'll translate that. Hey, Sarah, Wild Thing Rob here said that he thinks he could beat you in any style of fighting.
Any style. No, not fighting, wrestling. Any style of wrestling. Catch can. I see her laughing.
Literally laughing at you.
I see it. Catch can. I'll take you strong style. I'll take you Greco. We'll even go for your little high school. Throw a little bit of freestyle in there. See that? Wait, you can't do that in freestyle or Greco, but you can do it in strong style. You can do that.
You'll dig this.
Whoa. Here
we go.
Whoa.
This bitch right here, I'll tell you what. I'm pretty good at fighting at this point, and there were times where grappling, and I was like, oh, I think she just injured me. Like, I was trying to show her how to do some pro wrestling stuff. And next thing I know, she's like gator rolling me around my spare bedroom. God damn, nose is bleeding.
And that's funny because I remember with DeMarco the first time I locked up with him, I whispered to him, "Oh, this is all fake, right?" Next thing I know, I caught that bag of marbles right across the side of the mouth. And he's pacing around pissed. I was like, okay, don't say the F word ever again.
No,
okay, Paul, I won't say the F word. Fuck, calm down.
My favorite thing is getting with people who, there's like layers of people who can kind of sort of technically wrestle. So a lot of people who say, yeah, I can basically chain. Not really.
No.
And so the people who actually can tend to be up here. So like snagging somebody in a basic cravat, which shouldn't be a big deal. Are you surprised that all these people don't know how to even just like grapple their way out of a cravat? I'm shocked.
Can't shoot their way out of sack.
How tricky is it?
But that's what happens when these kids are being expedited through in 4 months, coming out and calling themselves a pro and trying to get a main event booking. It's like, wait a minute. You can't even do a successful chain series except for the basic the go behind, the reversal, and then the go reversal to a hammer. And that's about all they know. They don't like you get them on the actual mat. They're like, oh, I'm not comfortable here. What are we doing next?
And that's where I was trying to intentionally do stuff that you just don't see people do anymore. Like, you know, the old spot where you get behind the person during your heat and you put them in the body lock with your legs.
Yeah.
And occasionally you like roll to your side for the pin, you roll back, and you can even do like the roll around the ring if you feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I did that in one of my matches. I won one of my matches with the figure 4, like hanging off the top rope, like Ric Flair.
Yes.
Like,
I love that spot.
I mean, stuff you don't see him do on the indies all that often anymore.
And in the indies, they need to include the refs more. If you're an indie worker, include the refs more. The refs know how to bump, dude. They know some psychology. I mean, they should. If they don't, then they got no business.
I'm even just looking at them like a device for character work too. Like if I got somebody in a submission, like I'll sit on somebody's back and like pull them back in a crossface, but then I'll just like fish hook like one of their eyes and hold them back like that. And then I'll look at the ref while he's counting like, and then let go of them and then do it again. You know,
I used to love to go up. I used to love to go upstairs, then do the punches, and let the crowd count off, and let the ref be counting at me. When the ref would get to 9, I jump down, get in his face, and go, finish it, and then have him push me, and I'll bump. Hey, whoa, calm down. What's wrong with you?
That's fun.
And then Chris used to love to do the figure 4, some kind of a leg lock spot. Reach back, we were a tag team. I'd grab his hand, we'd work that spot, and then we'd wait for the ref to come along and kick our hands apart. Because let's get a ref in there who knows how to work. But then refs who know how to work also risk that they get too comfortable with the boys, when they're really just a ref and kind of minding their own business. So then they'll start trying to fucking rib the boys, and the boys take their receipts out in the ring. Case in point, when me and Casanova was wrestling Snuka and Tonga Kid, that Mike Porter thing we were talking about, Chris made it just before the match because he had to drive 3 hours to get there, and he got lost. So he made it. He got dressed, and the ref goes, "Oh, nice you to join us, Cass." Well, the spot was going to be I missed the splash on Snuka. He hits me with the splash. Ref goes 1-2, and Chris boots the ref. But that's not what he did. He ran up behind that dude and dropped the stiffest leg across the back of his head. And I was sitting right there watching this ref's head go right off the mat. I think he just laid on his back and stared straight up. He wasn't selling it. He was wrong. I just kind of chuckled as Snuka got mad and took Chris out the ring. And I'm like, "You all right, ref?" And he's not saying a word. I was like, "Oh, shit."
No, he was saying Tweety Birds for sure.
That kind of shit happens from time to time.
Hey, and there's an honesty to wrestling that I enjoy like that. I mean, in real life, you can't make people mind their manners sometimes, and you can't,
That's
always...
a great point. There is a lot of reality in the work.
Yeah, you better follow the damn rules. You better do what we said we're going to do. You better not take advantage. Like, I love it. I love the code, frankly.
I had a guy once. Have you seen that Rocky movie, the last Rocky movie, where he actually fought the actual boxer? You see that movie?
I don't know if it's on the last one or not. Was it like the black dude?
Yeah,
was it Rocky. I think I saw that. Yeah. When
the guy pulls Rocky aside and says, "This is an exhibition. If you take liberties on me, or I think you're trying to hurt me, blah, blah, blah." That gave me chills, man, because I had a real life shooter pull me aside once and say, "Look, I know you're new. So if you get excited and you try to start taking liberties on me and make yourself look good, I'm going to make you look real fucking bad and you're never coming back." I was like, "Yes, sir." And we had a great match, but he gave me that immediate check of, I know you're a little bit crazy. And I know you like to do shit that maybe, the other guy doesn't want you to do to him. So don't pull that shit with me tonight. "Yes, sir."
Right.
Let's go to work. Because I don't want to get the hell beat out of me for $20. So we're good.
Well, there's that too.
Right.
Well, and I think I'm thinking about not just the wrestling of wrestling, but I'm trying to do what a lot of us are. If I can make real money at it, by all means, let's do it. And how do we do that modern? Of course, you can still do the old thing of going all over the country, but now you don't necessarily have to if you're savvy with social media. if you're savvy with putting together your marketing production packages, if you're good at networking. You know what I mean? Like,
but you still should go all over the country if you want to be a well-rounded wrestler, because dudes in California wrestle a whole lot different than dudes in Arkansas and Florida, and getting all those different experiences is what gets you on TV.
Sure. Yeah, and I didn't mean to say otherwise. If I said that, I apologize.
You better not have.
Well, no, but I see what you're saying too, because when I was only working at my home fed, I was getting better. But when I started taking outside bookings and going to like small town in Indiana and going over by Detroit and going up to Flint and going different crowds, different styles, different people, by the time I came back to IPW for my last match, I was like a different person. Like comparing my last match to the one right behind it 4 months later, it really showed. And that was just from going out around a couple different states, like you said.
Is Flint still rocking, man? Flint used to be hot back in the day.
Well, there's two different things happening in Flint. Pure Pro Wrestling is the bigger one, and they're definitely getting bigger. They're putting on a big thing in Battle Creek, Michigan this weekend, the first of its kind, where they're having like some big names, like a convention. I know Kevin Nash is there.
Kevin fucking Nash, that guy.
Ravioli, man. Pounding ravioli.
Yeah. Man, he's pounding a lot of his jaw, too. The guy talks a lot, but he just... He relies on his big side. Ooh, okay. I'm not going to get into my story on why I got just a little bit of a little sharp edge towards Nash, but because he was, I'm going to tell this story because it's going to tell you who Nash really is in all aspects. So me and Chris book him, and he was just being a fucking prick, man. He comes out to work our show, and like we had a deal worked with him that you're going to come in a little bit early. And we're going to go ahead and rock out with the ringside, people. They're going to get a photo with you and blah, blah, blah. And he all of a sudden wants to charge these people extra. And he's trying to jam my fans up. But he's just pissing me off. And I had just had a full knee replacement. So I'm walking around. I shouldn't have been walking around because it was literally a week ago. But I was on a cane. And then he's being kind of a prick to some of the boys in the back and really cool with some of the other boys. Then he starts telling his stories. And so I go to him on my little cane. And I was like, yo, Kevin, we had a deal. And now you're fucking around with it. And you need to quit fucking around, man. I've been putting a lot of money into this. And I need you to have a good main event tonight with Warpath. Or we're going to, we're going to be fucked. You're going to screw our business. And he starts getting real smug going, you know how much I make a night? And I said, dude, I don't give a fuck how much you make a night. I care about how much I paid you for tonight, for now. So he aggressively stands up on me. So I take a step back on my cane, and I was like, man, fuck you. Now, Chris, at that same moment, is walking out of the gym to this breezeway we was talking in. He saw that going down, and he turned around and beat feet towards us so bad, you heard his shoes squeak. Like he was playing, basketball in there. So now Nash goes, uh-oh. And now it's like, well, dude, I can tell you this, Kev. You got two bad knees. There's two of us, and Scott's not here to back you up. So maybe you want to be a professional, do a little bit of business. Whatever, man. And he got pissed, and he went away. But then, right before he left that night, he pulls me aside and said, look, I'm sorry. And let me ask you, how long ago since you had your knee replacement? I said, a week. Well, what are you doing for it? I said, I got an ace bandage around it. And he reaches into his gimmick bag and he pulls out this knee brace. And he goes, here, put this on, see if it fits you. So I slid it on. It was a great fit. It had, hardware down the side and bolts, but it's going to hold everything together. He goes, all right, that's for you. So whenever you tell the story about me in the future, you can tell them that Kevin Nash is an asshole, but he gave me a $500 knee brace.
That's classy.
Yeah, it's like, you're all right, dude. We just, and that's what happens when you get a couple of dudes in one locker room who both were like, I'm the alpha here. Nash is like, I'm the alpha everywhere I go, and I'm like, you're in my territory, Jack, so I'm the alpha. We just started banging heads right away.
Yeah. Hey, I want to thank you for having me on your show, but my friend's here from Iowa. I got to get going. I told her I'd give about an hour of my time.
And the hour's up. Before you get up out of here, what do you got to plug?
Just a bunch of butts.
Woo! Good one.
It was pretty good, right?
Yeah. You gonna come back and see us again?
Absolutely.
Nice.
So I recently debuted for a company called Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. Their shows are going to be found on Fight TV for pay-per-view. They actually have a contract with Amazon Prime as well. You'll be able to find that show to rent. I think like $7 on Prime.
Nice.
I'm also going to be debuting at Rocket Pro Wrestling in Illinois in the next couple of months. Grizzly Pro Wrestling in November over near Detroit.
Cool.
You can also catch me down at Indiana Powerhouse Wrestling and Pro Wrestling King in December. Grand Rapids, Michigan on 10/29, wrestling Blair Onyx from Chicago, actually. So start to spread out a little bit. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, Davison Saria. I'll probably come up. I'm kind of getting famous.
See, Chris was right. I said Saria. He goes, no, it's not Saria. It's Saria. No, I said, no, I think you're wrong. We debated that for about 5 minutes because we debate the dumbest shit we possibly can.
I mean, you could always just, go listen to it on YouTube. But if you enjoyed fighting with each other, that's great. You should do that.
Oh, we do.
I can tell.
Yeah, we go back 112,000 years, man, between myself, Doug Damien, and Chris Casanova, dude. My two best friends in the world, and we're horrible to each other.
It's adorable. Your bromance is beaming.
It's so cute. It's so adorable. So, thanks for hanging out with us. Tell Sarah I said bye.
I'll do it. I'll feed her a raw steak so she doesn't get you. Sarah, he's waving goodbye to you.
Feed her a raw steak.
I told him I was going to feed you raw meat so you don't find him and kill him and drink his blood.
I see. That just sounds like a good time to me. All right, guys. That's going to do it for her time. That's going to do it for our time. We're going to be coming back at you each and every week right here on WrestleShoot. And God willing, old Mr. Chris Casanova will figure his technical issues out. And he'll be with us. I know I started the show with this. I want to end the show with it. Jimmy, man, keep fighting the good fight. We're here with you. We love you. You're going to get past this, and we're going to move on to take the Antisocial Network podcast group on to big things. I'm very excited for our future, and I know you're going to be cool, man. So much love, brother. And everybody else, make sure to keep checking us out here on the Antisocial Network. The Butcher, our boy out there in Wales, he's coming back with the cutting room floor tomorrow. He couldn't make it on today. The Smells Like Hope podcast has poked its pretty little head back up out of the obscurity that it was in. We're putting together a movie review show with the Butcher and Chris Casanova and Jimmy Castle. So just things are coming. If you are a podcaster, if you're a content creator, and you want a cool platform to show your shit on where nobody's going to stifle you, the only rules we have, there's no religion, no politics. Everything else is free game. So I think that's going to do it for me, for us, for the program. We love you. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we're going to see you guys next week.